From the glossary of professional wrestling terminology, to go home, to win a match. One wrestler will tell another wrestler it's time to go home when it's time to execute the planned ending for the match. A referee can also tell a wrestler it's time to go home, normally after being informed to do so by a producer backstage. I love that about wrestling. It's not about winning. It's about going home. You know, in a sport that is ostensibly about winning and losing, but really is about two guys working together to make it look like that there's a winner and a loser, the last thing you want to do is actually talk about winning and losing. It's insulting, you know, to call one a winner and one a loser. These are men who work really hard at what they do and are very proud of what they do. So first of all, you don't ever win a professional wrestling match. You simply go over. When you're backstage talking about, you know, setting up the match and stuff, figuring out what you're going to do, you never ask, like, who's winning, who's losing? You say, who's going over? And the guy who gets pinned puts the other guy over. I love that. The one that's getting pinned is not the passive one. He's the active one. He's the one who's putting the other guy over. And it's normally the case, because normally, in the wrestling, the one who's putting the other guy over is the better wrestler. And by that, I mean the worker with more skills, because it takes a lot of skill. You have to really know what you're doing to make it look like you're believing in getting your ass kicked out there. AKA the jobber's credo. But so, you know, I just think that's so fantastic. You know, the loser isn't the passive one, he's the active one. I love it. And when it's time for the match to be over, you know, when it's time for the match to be over, you don't say, you know, you don't look at the other guy and you say, hey, holy Buddha, let's end this mofo. No, you say, time to go home. Which is great, right? Because it's like any other job, right? How many times have you looked at the person next to you at your job at the check cashing place, or the Jack in the Box, or here at the Onyx, wherever you're working, and said, it's time to go home. Right? And that's what it is, you know? At the end of the day, it's just time to go home, man. Of course, the referee can also tell you to go home. That is a very bad thing, because it normally means that you've run over your time, or that you've completely lost the audience, neither of which are good. They're not going to get you a pat on the back and a cigar when you get back there, but accolades are an earful of it at the end of the night, man. It's just time to go home. Way out in the land of the setting sun, where the wind blows wild and free, there's a lovely spot, that's the only spot that means home, sweet home to me. If you follow the old Kit Carson trail till the desert meets the hills, oh, you certainly will agree with me, she's the land of 1,000 thrills. Home means Nevada, home means the hills, home means the sage and the pine. Out by the Truckee silvery rills, out where the sun always shines, there's a land that I love the best, fairer than all I can see, right in the heart of the Golden West. Home means Nevada to me. Home means Nevada, home means the hills, home means the sage and the pine. Out by the Truckee silvery rills, out where the sun always shines, there's a land that I love the best, fairer than all I can see, right in the heart of the Golden West. Home means Nevada to me. Yes, home means Nevada to me. Oh, home means Nevada to me.